Nakeri! Nakeri! Nakeri!
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Last month we had a rumor circulating that Vhagar was going to go rogue again in Season 2. I covered that in a previous House of the Dragon update video that I'll link below. But after hearing this rumor, I decided to do a video on why Vhagar didn't obey Aemond, and at the end, we'll discuss whether it's possible that she could do it again. So let's dive in. Vhagar is the oldest living dragon. At 181, she is the great-great-great-grandma of all dragons. So she's going to be more set in her ways and obstinate. We saw how she was originally reluctant to accept Aemond as a new rider, but he was persistent and she tested him to the extreme. If he had fallen off during this ride, Vhagar would have just contentedly returned to the beach to go back to sleep. She had 3 riders before Aemond, but the most important one of those was Visenya, who was a force all on her own. She was stern, unforgiving, and as strong as Valyrian steel. When Visenya pushed Aegon for the need for an elite set of guards protecting him and the royal family, he balked. So what did Visenya do? She cut Aegon's cheek with her sword in front of his guard to prove her point. And that's how the King's Guard was formed. We can see this same seriousness and impetuousness in Vhagar, who Visenya rode for over 60 years. Whether she was in some way molded by Visenya or their attributes matched, who's to say, but it took a real forceful person to be able to direct her. And this isn't to say that Aemond is weak. He has some of the same qualities as Visenya, but he's also younger, and he doesn't possess the same experience she or Vhagar has. Another important factor is that Vhagar is a battle-tested dragon too. She was involved in the Conquest and the Dornish Wars. Aemond didn't fully understand what he ignited when he set her on the chase of Lucerys and Arrax. This was the first real action she'd had in decades, and she knows how these sort of fights are supposed to end. It's like lighting the fuse to fireworks. You can't just put them back in the canister. In addition, dragons also feed off the emotions of their riders. Remember how Caraxes acted in the Stepstones after Daemon was wounded? It was as if he had been hit himself. And Aemon has a boiling hatred toward Lucerys since that day he lost his eye. It hasn't been mitigated as he's grown older, and in some ways it might have even grown stronger. So we have Vhagar's instincts, experience, and Aemon's disdain for Lucerys, all coming into play in the clouds above Storm's End. And while the bond with a dragon and their rider is tight, there is still some independence. Dany had a close bond with Drogon, but even he went off for some time to do his own thing. Before returning again when she desperately needed him in Meereen. If the deck wasn't already stacked high enough against Lucerys, the final card was Arrax shooting fire at Vhagar's face. At this point, Aemon realized that the game had gone too far, but there was no holding back Vhagar. So is it possible that Vhagar goes rogue again? Well, most of the factors above are still in play, and with the war underway, there's no telling what she might do. I am a little skeptical, though, about the rumor that Vhagar turns on the Green's allies during a battle. It's probably just damage caused by the Blacks, but nothing's impossible. It would be amusing, though, to see Vhagar just not giving a damn. After watching this scene numerous times, one thing that's a little funny is how they added this contented sort of roar in after Vhagar had taken down Lucerys and Arrax. It's like Vhagar's saying, okay, I've taken care of that nuisance. Now let's go home, Visenya. If you happen to glance at the schedule that I post here on the channel, you would have noticed that I originally had been planning on releasing a breakdown video criticizing the Game of Thrones Battle of Winterfell against the Night King. That was supposed to be out last week, but I ran the Aegon one instead. Some odd copyright issues came into play there, ones that I haven't seen before for short clips. Not sure what was going on with all of that, but because of it, the video needs to be reworked and moved to the back burner. It's definitely not dead, though, and I intend to finish it someday.
What is dead may never die!
If you enjoyed this one, hit the like button. And if you're interested in more on House of the Dragon and A Song of Ice and Fire, listen to Caraxes and subscribe. I want to thank everyone for watching, and I'll see you soon.